Simurgh is a mythical bird in Persian mythology, folklore stories and legends. It was so huge that it could carry off an elephant or a whale pretty easily. Simurgh can also be called Simorg in Persian. Simurgh was seen as a symbol of fertility and purity. It is said to purify any land or sea and make it holy. It also represented the union between the earth and the sky, and also served as a mediator and messenger between the two. Simurgh is sometimes equated with other mythological birds such as the phoenix and the humā, which is another mythical bird of Persia. Keep watching to learn more about the similarities between these birds. We can find Simurgh in the Iranian arts of every period in history and also in literary works. It was seen as a female and a part mammal, so she produced milk to feed her children. Like an eagle, she always has some enmity towards snakes. Legends say that she has been living in this world for a long time, so long that she possesses the knowledge of all ages. In one legend, Simurgh was said to live 1,700 years before plunging itself into flames, much like the phoenix. Simurgh is sometimes said to have had the head of a human or a dog. She rested in the humā, the tree of life, which stands in the middle of the world sea. The plant is a potent medicine and is called all-healing, and the seeds of all plants are deposited on it. When Simurgh took flight, 1,000 shoots grew from the tree, and when she landed, the 1,000 shoots were broken and the seeds dropped from them. The seeds then got carried over by the wind and took root to become every type of plant that ever lived and cured all the illnesses of mankind. humā and Simurgh shared many similarities. humā was seen as the essence of divinity much like Simurgh and also was sometimes represented as a bird and a messenger. In one of the Kurdish folk tales, which are the folk tales of the Kurds living in Kurdistan, a snake tried to eat Simurgh's offspring while she was away. Upon seeing that, a hero rescues her offspring by killing the snake. As a thanking gift, Simurgh gives 3 of her feathers to the hero and tells him that he can summon her whenever he wants by burning them. Later, the hero uses the feathers, and Simurgh carries him to a distant land. In another tale, Simurgh feeds the hero on the journey while the hero feeds Simurgh with pieces of sheep's fat. Shahnameh, also called the Book of Kings, is a long epic poem written by the Persian poet Ferdowsi between 977 and 1010 CE, and is the national epic of Iran, Afghanistan, and Tajikistan. It is also one of the longest epic poems in the world. Although it mostly contains mythical stories, it also includes some history of the Persian Empire and the Muslim conquest in the 7th century. The phoenix bird, Simurgh, is said to have made its first appearance in this epic. According to the epic, there was a man called Sam. He gave birth to Zal, who was born albino. After seeing his son, he was deeply saddened. He thought that there was something wrong with his child and that it was the spawn of devils. He didn't want to take the risk of raising him, so he took the child and left him on the Alborz mountain. After he left, the child cried so loudly without stopping and it started to attract many wild animals there. Simurgh, who was resting atop this peak, also heard his cries. She then retrieved the child and raised him as her own. Zal didn't need to go to any school since Simurgh herself had the knowledge of everything in the world. With her teaching, Zal became one of the wisest persons in the world. But Zal wanted to go and live with his fellow countrymen. Simurgh was so disappointed and was terribly saddened. She gave him 3 golden feathers and told him to burn them if he ever needed her help. After that, Zal returned to his kingdom, where he fell in love and married a beautiful woman named Rudaba. After some months, Rudaba was conceived with a child. The labor was prolonged and terrible. Zal feared that his wife might die in labor. When she was so close to death, Zal burned the feathers that the Simurgh gave him and summoned her. The Simurgh appeared and instructed him upon how to perform a caesarean section, thus saving Radaba and the child, who became one of the greatest Persian heroes, Rostam. The part where Zal was saved and raised by Simurgh reminds us of the story of Romulus and Remus, where the twins were saved and fed by a she-wolf. In Sufi mysticism, Simurgh is frequently mentioned, particularly as a metaphor for God. The Conference of Birds is a Persian poem written by the Sufi poet, Fard-ud-Din Attar. He was commonly known as Attar of Nishapur. It took inspiration from the Quran verse where Sulayman and Dawood are said to have been taught the language of the birds. It is also said that Attar died a violent death in the massacre inflicted by Genghis Khan and the Mongol army on the city of Nishapur in 1221, when he was 70 years old. In this poem, all the birds of the world gather around and search for a just king who can lead them all. Since they thought that no bird among them was fit enough to be a king, Hupu, the wisest bird of them all, suggested that they should find the legendary Simorg. So Hoop leads them all to find Simurgh. There were a total of 30 birds in that group. Each of the birds represents a human fault which prevents us from attaining enlightenment. The group then finally reached the dwelling place of Simurgh, but the bird could not be found there. There was no sign of her. All they could find there was a lake, in which they could see their reflections. In Persian, Si means 30, and Morg means bird. Hence, Simorg can be read as 30 birds. Maybe each of them were the king that they had been searching to find all along. They themselves, collectively, have become the great Simorg. When Simurgh's tales reached Arabia, she was conflated with other Arabic mythical birds and inspired the roc. Roc makes an appearance in the Arabic story collection, 1001 Nights. Simurgh also shows up in the story of 7 trials of Esfandiar. In the 5th trial, Esfandiar fought the Simurgh after killing a wicked enchantress. Although Esfandiar was no match for the Simurgh's power and strength, he managed to strike the large bird's neck and then decapitated it. After learning about their mother's death, Simurgh's offspring rushed to the place of Esfandiar and fought him. After a long battle, they, too, were slain. What are your thoughts about this Persian phoenix named Simurgh? Let me know by leaving a comment below. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, tap the thumbs up icon and share this video. Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell icon. I will see you again in a new video with a new topic to explain. Thanks for watching.